business. I usually choose him to be a Uchiha. Or an Uzumaki. Or Hyuga. I don't know which one I want to choose from this time. I want to give him a tragic backstory. He's not going to live in the leaf, the sand, the stone, the light, the cloud, or the thing, or the mist. He lives in the ruins of the Uzumaki village. Let's go into where he's 5. He's building his own house, going... Then he says, a library! Because he never realized it was there. Then he walks in going... Then goes... Then finds all kinds of scrolls and he says, Sealing Jutsu! Scrolls? Then he sees a big scroll. He goes, ooh! Then he also sees ninja blades. He goes, wow. Then he uses them. He trains with them for about a month. Then he learns all the scrolls. In a year. Finally, he's learned every single sealing jutsu, every jutsu, all the genjutsu, all the ninjutsu. He knows how to use Uzumaki chains like a fucking god. And from the battle, from a Hashirama scroll that he left them for a peace treaty, it had all the secret jutsus of the leaf. And Christian learned them all going, Then he goes, ooh, what's this jutsu? Rasengan? Huh? Sounds like a weird name for a jutsu. He says, compress chakra into your hand and make it spy and has this. No, it says this is a jutsu with the top. Is a chakra orb jutsu with the top. It's a jutsu and it has the top of the spin of shape transformation. He says there are 3 steps: a water balloon, you must pop, and a normal ball with air in it, you have to pop, and a 3rd air ball, which you have to keep the chakra inside. He goes, ooh. So he does it a couple of months later. He finally learns the Rasengan. It's pretty good. What? Yep. Alright, let's get into this. So, then he looks and finds another one called Flying Thunder God. He says, one that says Flying Raijin. He goes, cool, and learns it all. He learns every jutsu in that scroll. He's also practicing his Tai jutsu going, He's also he's pretty good in all skills. So when he reaches 12, he finds a lost... Then he looks in this destroyed room that was kept safe somehow. Then he looks and says, he opens his door and looks under the bed and says, a headband? And then it's a note and it says, Dear Christian, from your mother, this is a headband of you when you reach 12 to go to the tuning exams in the Leaf Village that will be happening. Please take care. Your mother. He goes and puts it on his head and wraps it around going, Then he gets her. Then Then 3-Leaf Shinobi head to the hidden whirlpool village. They say, isn't this place destroyed? Why did Lord Third? It's Genma, Ebisu, and an owl. You know the weird guy with the glasses? He walks over and they say, huh, I guess this is the village, but it's pretty destroyed. Who would live here? He goes, Christian jumps, going, yeah! He says, hey kid, where's the leader of this village? He goes, I'm the leader. He goes, come on kid, no jokes. He says, I'm not joking, I'm the only one who lives here. He goes, well, here, the third Hokage said since the entire village was wiped out, here, you have a form for the Chunin exams. He goes, really? Yeah. He says, hi, my name is Christian Uzumaki, and I'm from the hidden whirlpool village. Nice to meet y'all. Then he sits down. Kiba says and said, he's probably weak. No one has used his abilities yet. He hasn't showed any. So, let's do this. So he easily passes the exam being the first, going, Then throws his pencil up in the air, and then it perfectly stabs into the desk, going, Dum! Then he says, hi, I'm done. He goes, you can go. He goes, it's only been 2 minutes or so. He goes, well, that was easy. Then he walks to the door. Sakura says, already? He shouldn't be able to finish that fast. Not faster than mere Sasuke. Then he walks through going, whatever. Then he sits down. Then when everyone's finished, they head to the proctor thing. Anko walks by him saying, hey, aren't you supposed to be in there? He says, I'm done. She goes, already? It's only been 2 minutes. He goes, then why are you walking in there? She goes, She says, I've been sitting here for so long. I've been sitting here for about 30 minutes waiting for everyone to be done. The exam started about 32 minutes ago. She goes, really? 2 minutes you finished? He goes, yep. She says, well, good luck on the second part. I'll be hosting it. He goes, okay. She gets everyone ready, and then they head out. Christian sees that he passed the exam with flying colors, being in first place. He goes, yes. Sasuke goes, he came first. Lucky. Ino says, yes, Sasuke, he's definitely lucky. There's no way he beat you or me or us. Then he's already up there, stretching, going. Christian looks at Sasuke, looks at the rookie 9, the rookie 12, actually saying, what took you guys so long? I've been waiting here for 30 minutes. Sakura says, the test started 32 minutes ago. How are you already here? He says, wait a minute. You did that test in 2 minutes? He goes, yeah. She goes, and that's it. Anko says while walking, saying, and that's a record. And that's the Leaf Village record. They go, whoa. Let's just get into this. So, in the Forest of Death, Christian marks a random team. He says, hi guys, hope you pass. Good luck. And I'll see you in the finals, hopefully. He says, okay. Then when it starts, he walks in a one-man team. Everyone's targeting him. Then when he gets in, when she says go, he walks in slowly, and everyone goes for him, going ah! He disappears, and they go, what the? He goes, the team knocks them all and grabs their scroll, and then throws a flying Raijin kunai to the edge, and then flying Raijin's there and gets in. He goes, easy. Ankos, then he opens the scroll, and honestly, it's Genma. He says, I'm instructed to knock you out now. He goes, why? We're in the exam hall. He goes, no way. He says, how'd you get here so fast? He says, I have my ways. He says, well, kid, you can just stay here if you want. The exam's got 5 days to go. He says, I guess I'll just go sleep on the concrete floor. Yeah, totally. The third Hokage's already there. And literally, not even 2 minutes later, Genma walks into, actually, right after he's done talking to Christian, Christian's already in the exam hall sitting there. He said, Genma walks in saying, Anko, we have our first entry in. She goes, already? It's only been 2 minutes. He says, they must have cheated. They must have cloned the scroll. He says, then he holds both scrolls and crushes one and touches one, and it doesn't poof. He goes, looks like it's not. He says, amazing, let's check the security footage. Then they take a thing, then they see him put his hand on an opponent, then they take a closer look, and Genma says, that's the fourth Hokage's jutsu. Then when he walks in, everyone went for him, but then he just disappeared, knocked them all out, grabbed their scroll and threw it and body flickered in. And flying Raijin. He goes, incredible. Then he pulls out, he says, summoning jutsu! And summons a pillow and a blanket and goes, and he sleeps. One day, then he trains going, then day 2, he goes, then he trains, then on the 5th day, on the 3rd day, people start arriving. The first team to walk in is Gaara's team. He says, oh, hi guys. Thank God you're here. He says, how are you already here? He says, I finished the exam in the first 2 minutes. She goes, no way. He goes, yep. He says, now that you're here, I can talk to you guys. I'm running out of people to talk to. I've literally been talking to my clones this entire time. Then everyone gets in. And they see Christian sleeping. He's going, Sakura says to Sasuke and Naruto, why does he get to sleep? Then they all line up. He goes, he says, as you know, there are some, he says, this will be a 3-on-3, this will be a 1-on-1 prelims. There will be a finals next after this, since there's more people than we expected. He says, scatter. They all sit, and Christian goes back to sleeping. He goes, and he's sitting next to Naruto, and he's sitting next to Team 7, and he's watching the fight, and then when he sees Sasuke losing easily, he's sitting next to Naruto and Sakura, except he's sitting, they're standing. Well, she's standing too. He's watching going, oh, this is boring. I'm gonna go to sleep. She says, hey, Sasuke's matches are not boring. He says, that's pretty boring. All their movements are literally in slow motion. Then he goes to sleep. And goes, Then he gets wakened by the mother going, bah! He goes, I'm up! And then he looks saying, so it's me versus Kiba. Then he teleports into the ring and they say, whoa, he's already there? He goes, let's get this over with. Kiba goes, you're gonna regret being cocky. Then goes, fang over fang. He goes, woo-doo-woo-doo-woo, as he jumps in the air, jumping over his hack. Then Kiba comes back and he goes, woo, as he jumps to the right. Then Kiba comes again and he goes, woo-doo-woo-doo. Kiba goes for one strike in the middle and he can't dodge or dodge. So he says, then he backflips going, woo-doo-woo-doo. He goes, what the? Christian says, I'm gonna beat you without touching you. He goes, he says, that's not possible. Kiba rushes out and going, fang over fang. Then goes for a shot. Christian goes, woo-doo-woo-doo, and 360s around him. Kiba rams into the Hokage thing, hitting his head, then knocked out. He says, Christian wins. Kakashi, everyone in the exam hall is shocked, even though Hokage is saying, not even a scratch. He didn't even touch him. Christian goes, woo-doo-woo-doo, and jumps into the ring. Or look, no, he faces Neji. Actually, not Gaara. So he teleports in and goes, so, I guess you're my opponent. He just stopped talking, you're gonna lose anyway. He shoots sand and then Christian puts his hands together and creates a wind barrier, like Ashura's wind barrier, and blocks the attack. He goes, what the? Then Christian disappears and he says, behind you. Then he says, knock knock. Then Gaara looks behind him and Christian's below him going, anybody home? Then uppercuts him into the sky, hitting the roof. He goes, ugh. Tamari says, Gaara's never been hit. Then he backflips, kicks him into the ground. He goes, He says, that all you got, sandboy? He goes, ah! Putting him in a sand coffin. Kirsten says, she smirks, saying, Then he puts his hand going, and then a wind barrier would come back, a wind tornado would come and blast it back. He goes, I've only used one jutsu this match, don't make me use my others. He goes, well, Sakura yells, I bet you're weak. You can't beat him. You're probably the weakest one here, he says. Is that right, uselessness? He says, I guess I'll show you my power then. Then he goes, then with such speed and precision, no one can even see him, he goes, water sail, raging wave. Then he jumps behind him, throwing, with such precision, throws a kunai. Throws 6 kunai going in his head, Uzumaki style, shuriken jutsu. Then he throws 6 kunai, they all and they're all lightning cones, they clash together. Sasuke gets a flashback of Itachi. Then all of them hit the water, shocking Gaara. He goes, ah! Christian says, I won't end this with this final move. Gaara says, don't get cocky! Then shoots sand at him. Christian activates his Uzumaki chains, then just stops the attack, going, and wraps up all the sand. He goes, what the? Then he pulls out a flying Raijin and he says, Minato Sensei in his head. He rushes at him, releasing the chakra chains. He goes, then throws it. It cuts through Gaara's sand. But then Gaara dodges it. But then Christian goes above him, going, Rasengan! Then goes, absolutely obliterating Gaara. And Gaara's defeated. He goes, and that's it for this match. And that's it for